August 1st, anyone kicking against protest is your enemy, workers tell Nigerians.
Are protests really guaranteed to give results, going by what we've seen in the past? Would you consider those protests successful, and will such protests be successful like we've seen in other climes like Kenya, for example?
There is no alternative to protest. I think that is just the truth of the matter. We are dealing with people that are intentionally deaf. We are dealing with people that are deliberately blind to the voices of our people and to the collective suffering of the Nigerian masses. So when the question is asked, that is protest the solution? We can also ask, it's a rhetorical question. Because if protest is not the solution, what is the solution? Are we going to go to the National Assembly? We are not lawmakers. Those
right, like Joy said, writing letters, engaging with lawmakers.
Who are you going to write the letter to? Are you going to write a letter to people who don't even have the time to read? Because if they have the time to read, they should be conversant with the problems of the country. And what is the debate even about? It took protests to end colonialism. It took protests to end military rule. It took protests to end apartheid in South Africa. It took protests to even bring the APC to power. In 2012, the whole country was shut down for 2 weeks. President Tinubu supported it. Those who are in this government supported it. So there is no alternative to protest. It is a democratic means of civic engagement. When people are not heard, they have the right to come out. And it's not a localized matter. Whether it's in the US, we see people protest for all sorts of things. Protest is a global phenomenon. We don't have an alternative to protest. Particularly, 1 year has passed. Nigerians have been patient. We've given the president 1 year. Because it's not just about
so
the president.
Nigerians need answers now. And one way to listen to a government, in your own words, that is deliberately deaf and blind, is to hit the streets. I'll move over to...
Lately, there's been a lot of varying opinions on the need for a protest or not. It has even progressed, just as expected, into ethnic profiling and attempts to paint the calls for a protest as something engineered by the IPOB or by Labour Party's candidate Peter Obi, who, of course, if you've paid close attention, has not once said anything pro-protesting. And you can, of course, see from his Twitter account every single thing he said concerning protesting. None of them has been in support of a protest, either in the past or currently. But, as usual, the presidential spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga, still found it within himself. He dug deep within himself, and after searching and searching and searching for days, he was able to still manufacture a narrative blaming either Peter Obi or the IPOB for increasing calls for a nationwide protest. This is where we are. Now, we can address how that, of course, how things have turned out and how all the evidence seems to be completely false, blaming the IPOB or Peter Obi for the cause for a protest. But let's really just ask the question this morning. Is there anyone across Nigeria today who's actually happy? Right from northern Nigeria, the middle belt, the south-south, the southeast, and even here in the southwest where the president is from. Is there anyone who's truly trusting the process? Aside politicians and those who, of course, who are fully invested for their personal interest, is there anyone who says to themselves, yes, things may be really tough right now, but I really trust this government and I'm okay with suffering till things start to get better? Is there anyone who truly is excited about Nigeria's current situation? If there is, why are they hiding? Why don't we see them on the streets celebrating and cheering on the current government? Why instead are we seeing people climbing broadcasting masts or attempting suicide, even here in Lagos? It would be the highest level of self-deceit to tell yourself, or even to tell Mr. President, that the growing calls for a protest are engineered or driven by the opposition political party or movement. And even if that was the case, the fact that there is a growing number of people who are struggling to get even just one meal a day, as stated by Senator Ahmad Lawan, it makes it easier for whichever anti-government group to engineer a protest. Again, that doesn't seem to be the case. Just to reiterate that it's not likely that any of the calls for protests are engineered by the IPOB or Peter Obi or anybody, just like Bayo Onanuga said. But I'll ask these people around Mr. President this morning to take a quick opinion poll across Nigeria. Ask around 1,000 or 10,000 people, are they truly happy with today's Nigeria? Are they impressed with the way the country is being run? Do they believe in the idea of persevering, as President Tinubu has asked? Just do a quick opinion poll across the country and see what it will show you. I'm certain those closest to Mr. President wouldn't like the results of those opinion polls. So again, this morning, as we take further steps in our journey as a nation, let those around Mr. President be reminded that Nigerians are very much aware that they don't have time to waste. I've spoken about this before. Millions of Nigerians have done a mental breakdown of how old they would be at the end of this administration, and how important it is that our nation starts to see some level of progress today. Not next week, not in a few years, not maybe in the next couple of months. Today. So it is important that this government does something to show the Nigerian people that as you ask them to be patient, that they are not going to be waiting in vain. Ethnic whistling or any other tactics to dismantle a possible protest is a clear sign that Mr. President's people do not have the necessary means to convince Nigerians that they are in safe hands. Good morning, Nigerians.
This is a very beautiful one coming from the News Central. This is a very beautiful one coming from the News Central. If anyone feels that this government is good, doing very well, they should come out. They should go to the street and praise this government and stop hiding. How can it be today? A liter of fuel is being sold at 800 naira. A bag of rice is at 80,000 naira. And yet, some persons are busy eulogizing this government just because of their selfish interests. Just because of their selfish interests, they are eulogizing the government. One thing we should bear in mind is this: karma is a law that respects no one. 2012, these people took to the streets and demonstrated that removed Goodluck Ebele Jonathan as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But today, most of these people that protested against Goodluck Jonathan are mute. We have the likes of Adeboye, we have the likes of Wole Soyinka, and others. But today, they are all mute. Guys, let's hear your view on the comment section. Anyone that asks you not to protest is a wicked citizen. That is coming from Nigerian workers. Let's hear your view on the comment section. Remember, if this is your first time of watching our channel, please feel free to subscribe to our channel, like our video, share our video, and please don't fail to turn on the notification bell in order to be getting our updates. We'll see you again in our subsequent bulletin.